Welcome to the final Q&A for Transformers Rise of the World Killers D&D podcast. This time, Clickbait will be joining us, but first, let's introduce everyone. I'll go first. I'm Onyx Prime, and I play your DM for this campaign, the God, Primus, for those who are nerds like me, for the series, and I hope the story has been fun, and pretty much my job has been to make things as interesting as possible, and a lot of role playing. All right, so let's have order of appearance in the series go first. Kilobyte, go ahead and say what your character is, their name, their faction, kind of sum them up in 1 or 2 sentences. Go.
Well, hello, I am Kilobyte. I play Stratostorm, aka Eight Wheeler, and I'm the himbo of the group and the one that's gonna die.
What's your faction?
Mercenary.
Awesome. And then we have Computron with us.
Hi, I'm Compatron. I play Zephyr. Let's see, one sentence I could describe him is I'm the second in command when it comes to making things interesting for the D&D. My faction is Decepticon, and I'm very much not going to die.
Oh, absolutely not. And then Hexmas, our demon. Would you like to go next?
Yes, I'm Hexmas. I play Spitfire and recently Scorchfire Prime. I am an Autobot who, in all honesty, doesn't really know what they're doing, but they're just here for a good time.
Fantastic. Clickbait.
Hey guys, I am Clickbait and I play Mantix. He is. I've been listening to the other three, but I've totally forgot everything I'm supposed to say now. I play Mantix, and he is a big old chonky Decepticon currently, Seeker, and he has a lot of angst. He's a big boy, but yeah, no, it's not much. I don't know what else the question was. So.
No, that's accurate. You did great. You did perfect. All right. Awesome. And listeners, at the end of this Q&A, we'll have a quick trailer for the finale, or episode 24 of Rise of the World Killers. So stay tuned. We have a lot of Q&As to get started. We'll do it in order, starting with Kilobyte. What question would you like to ask your DM that you're just itching to know about the campaign?
Okay, who is the player that got the closest to all the theories while we were offline?
That is an excellent question, and it's a close tie between you and Heximus with these theories. I won't say which ones they are. And
I knew
eventually, between
Right.
all of your spitballing, no, it's fine. Interrupt me. This is supposed to be fun. Between all your
Always fun. It's always
awesome.
fun.
You're bound to land a couple accurate ones, and there's been a couple times I've had to bite my tongue because, like, you will say exactly what I'm planning. I'm like, sure, that's gonna happen.
How did they know?
I knew it.
Right?
Nice. High five.
It's good stuff. Computron.
Yeah, a lot of my questions I kind of have them for like in character because I kind of really like playing my character.
Really?
Can't tell.
It's a good character.
Obviously, first thing off my list here, and I got a very short list, is can I have Spitfire's bodies, or should I say Scorchfire's body?
That's not what you sent me, bud.
Can I? Can I
I'm
have
going
that?
to read Computron's question verbatim. His question that he sent me was, can I have Hex's body? And
Hi.
to that I say, no. That is an actual person we have here, and there are, things. Heximus is a real character, whereas Spitfire is our make-believe. So
That's what I
there
was
are
meaning.
implications
though.
here.
You're avoiding my
So-
answer, so that's always going to be a mystery.
Computron, tell us a little bit about the inspiration for Zephyr.
So if you guys have ever read any of the More Than Meets the Eye kind of comics, a lot of the personality and witty kind of humor and sarcasm comes from Whirl. And the little man syndrome, I actually kind of acquired that from one of my closest friends. I'm just kidding. I kind of acquired that from a guy that I used to work with, and he was kind of this kind of person that would get frustrated kind of easily, and this is kind of like a long story short, but for whatever reason, why I always found it hilarious, and I accidentally laugh in person at him.
Oh no.
Oh,
But
So,
also
boy.
very much in character for Zephyr thing to do.
so, and so I kind of mapped that and kind of mixed in kind of like I don't know, my own kind of personality into this
Oh,
character.
right
So
on.
it's like this combination of three things, like Whirl, this guy I used to work with, and myself. And
Nice.
so it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It just pooped out Zephyr.
Right on. And I forgot to ask my rebuttal question to Kilobyte, so I'm going to circle back. So you like theories, Kilo. Which of your theories are you most strong felt about, or what do you think will happen, or which of your theories have you been most right about so far?
Of my theories.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't really remember my theories, but
we've
I
said
know.
so many.
Yeah,
Right?
I know that I mentioned that my character would probably could have been like a senator since with the whole shadow play arc. And I know in the comics there is a senator that gets shadow played and it's a very important character. So since we
Very
read those
shocking.
recently, since we read those recently, I thought it was gonna be inspired by that a little bit. Not necessarily a senator, but I know it would probably have to be something very important, kind of like position wise, right?
So
So
you mentioned very important, and this is coming out after episode 23, was the realization of being priorly a miner. What was your thoughts on that? A
I thought that
miner as
was
in mining minerals and raw things, not like a miner minicon. I just want to clarify.
yeah. I found that very interesting, and then you mentioned about Buckethead, and I'm like, I see some similarities here with a bot I want to call Megatron, but I don't think I can be Megatron because Megatron is in communications with Soundwave,
This is
so
correct.
it's a little misdirection there from Prime.
All set. All right, Hex, you got a question? You want to ask it?
All right. Knowing what you know now, if there was any event or story arc you would change, what would it be and why?
Oh, this is a good question. And I'm not sure if there's a lot I would change, but if I did had to choose, it would be bringing new people into the story a lot sooner because I know you came in around episode 4, Mantix episode 15, and I can see the difference in the content, the quality shift, and it's been like so much better. Like it's been a lot, it's been blast, is what I'm trying to say. So there's not really anything I would change, but I do have a question for you. How
Yeah.
has your first experience of a Transformers D&D going? Any highlights, favorite moments so far?
Dude, is so cool. Like I like D&D and I have played regular D&D, but I guess because I am closer in knowledge, like I know more about Transformers lore than just regular D&D. I feel like I can bond a lot closer to it and it is just an absolute blast. Like I wouldn't really trade it for anything.
Right on. That makes me so happy. So happy. Uh,
Happy.
Clickbait, you have a question.
I do have a question. My first question references events that happened a couple episodes ago by this point, and when Spitfire or Scorchfire, well, I guess she was Spitfire then, gets the Matrix, what would have happened if another character tried to get or open the Matrix? What would have happened?
This is an excellent question, and a very interesting question, and it's one that I've been pondering since I first started writing this campaign, way before even Heximus joined us. It was just something that I went back and forth with like, because we didn't have an Autobot in the beginning. So at the time, I was like, okay, Computron's character of Zephyr, it would definitely not go to him. It wouldn't have opened. For
Wow.
for kilobytes.
There's obvious
Yeah.
reasons why, you know.
Right. There's a lot of
I mean,
murder
look at the
that you
last
do. It's just
episode,
gonna
dude.
right. Yeah,
Very
you kill
chaotic.
an innocent bot again. But for Kilobyte's character, Eight Wheeler, at a time I would have probably replaced the item completely. Like it probably wouldn't have been the Matrix by the time we got to that stage. Or I would have switched to what's actually happening with it. So in the scenario, if you were to open the Matrix, your character as Mantix, I don't think it would have opened in the same place. Like it probably wouldn't open on the Crucible dweller ship. It probably would have had open in a place of trauma, a place of your darkest hour, such as maybe Shockwave's portal, for example. Whereas for Bitfire's trauma was on that ship. That's where she was found. So that's why it would open for her in that darkest moment. But yeah, there's a lot of back
Super
and
cool.
forth. I think that's it. That's all I got. But I do have a question for you.
Oh dear, I have an answer. It might not be a good one, but
Yeah. So Clickbait, the character you play in D&D here is Mantix. Can you tell us more about how you came up with him? Like, I'm interested in how he feels about everything that's going on. We know his goals are a little murky at the moment with the internal conflict of being true to the Decepticon cause, but also being betrayed by Shockwave, but then finding a group that has an Autobot in it. That's the complete opposite of everything you've been told what the enemy was like, but still finding that they care about you. What's going on there?
that is actually a really great question, and it's one that's it forces me to think a little bit about my characters too. Is I've always I really enjoy writing, and so I love to just go crazy with original characters, and I try really hard to make each one of them individual, and there are some that I just kind of get a pull towards, like Mantix, for example. And I've always loved the idea of kind of morally gray characters, like these people who believe, like, who under the right circumstances could have been a completely different person. And what happens when you tie in, this decades or centuries of experience being taught to be one way on top of this personality that could have been different, throw in a life-changing event, and then shove them into that other environment. And it's the complete opposite of everything they've been told it would be. He really struggles with finding that out, that he actually really enjoys being around Spitfire and really enjoys being around everyone else.
Aw.
But then it's the conflict of I'm not supposed to like her, and that causes a lot of like inner turmoil from him. And then, in Zephyr's case, he probably considers actually Strato to be closest to him in this scenario. But in Zephyr's case, Zephyr is still considers himself a Decepticon, and at this point Mantix is really questioning who he is, like, at his core. Can he even be called a Decepticon anymore? And so I definitely think that's where a little bit of the hostility towards Zephyr comes from, is that he is frustrated that Zephyr, in the light of all this that is happening, can still identify as like who he knows who he is, or at least that's what Mantix thinks. And he really relates to Strato because Strato's going through a lot right now, and
He is, yes.
so is Mantix.
That's an
And
understatement.
that was a really long-winded explanation. Like I said, I could talk
No,
all
it's
day about
great.
my characters, but
That just explains a lot of the conflict that we've been
It
seeing
does.
in at least the last
I mean,
5 or 6
Yeah, no kidding.
I love
Mantix and
fighting with
Zephyr.
Zephyr, but it does come from a logical place. I'm not just one of
Can you
Oh,
just
that's
leave him
great.
alone, man?
So
Let
good.
me be.
You gotta
All
turn a
right.
new leaf, Zephyr.
Kilo, what's your next question?
My next question is, how much of the story did you have to improvise because of us derailing the story?
Well, with the
I'm curious,
exception
too.
of probably like the first 3 or 4 episodes, and the episodes where we onboarded a new character like Hex's character or Clickbait's character, pretty much a lot of the story had to be improvised because we have characters like Zephyr on here.
Pure
We have
chaos.
characters like Mantic. There's a lot of improv had to go into the story. The overarching theme, the world killers, you would say, with the planet being destroyed, the characters you would run into, those were kind of written, but the how you would get to things, the solutions, those were all improv. Whenever you just like pivot and go to somewhere else, it was just like, okay, I can't write every possible scenario in this case. Like I could for the first 2 episodes because like we had to establish some sort of lore background, but it's just a lot. Okay, the answer's a lot, and especially the second episode was improv because when 8-Wheeler died on the second episode, I was like, come on, how did that even happen? The turret had 4 health. The turret had 4 health, and I was like, okay, you died.
That's
But I
how
can't I
bad.
can't have you die in the second episode. Like that's not. So I had to improv. Like okay, we're gonna try this again, bud. Soft reboot, soft reset. So yeah. So my question to rebuttal to you, I want to ask you something about the villains of this series. One, all the ones you've ran into in the story, the Planet Core. I'm guessing Lockdown for your character, Crossboom, Shockwave, Storm Viper, Madame Amberweb. Who have been the most impactful, and can you rate them out of 5 rod stars?
Oh, you give me a tough one. Okay, uh, so I would say like the bottom one would be the Viper. It was the least impactful because it was fun interaction, but like it was there for just a little bit.
You didn't like the
Uh,
singing that Zephyr did?
well, I wasn't really
Yeah.
there, The Strata
That
wasn't
was the
really there,
highlight.
He could just see a little butt down there moving, but that's pretty much it. As a like above table, I did enjoy it a lot, but I didn't really have a lot of interaction with the Viper. So I would give it 2 stars because
Okay.
it was different. It was something different. 2 rod stars. It was a different kind of encounter.
Hmm.
Madame Emberweb, I really enjoy. She would be the next tier. She would be 3 rod stars because I really like the whole uh, getting into my memory cortex and kind of helping me figure out that I'm not who I am and kind of like I've been messed with. So I thought that was a very shocker and it was very interesting. Uh, Lockdown, there wasn't a lot of interactions with. I was happy he was in the campaign, so I would also have to give it like a 3 rod star rating for Lockdown, just because I really like the character.
We'll talk more
Uh,
about him later, by the way.
uh, as for Crossboom, I've really enjoyed fighting Crossboom, especially the whole when we first fought and he just dismantled me. Just the interaction and then the bad rolls I got, it was just perfect. I thought I was gonna go offline there and like then and there. So I'm like, okay, that's a good end for Eight Wheeler, but I managed to survive. So I would give that a 5 because he's still out there, and I still need to put him offline. And then the whole shockwave put everything into motion. Man, that's a 5, especially favorite character and the whole that everything's been planned out and like having Strato's guide Spitfire into becoming the Prime
Oh.
and being reset 13 times. All that, man, that's so good.
We got one more, Planet Core.
Planet Core was was an interesting one because I do like the whole um, assimilating other beings, getting their knowledge.
Mhm.
So I would give it because we didn't really fight her too much. We kind of fought ourselves, and it was more of a kind of like an intellectual kind of battle between yourself and try to like break from her control. So I would give it a 4 just because it was different. It wasn't really like a physical fight. It was more of a like a mental fight.
Excellent. Thank you.
Oh.
We'll move to Computron.
Yep. So, as stated earlier, Mr. Shadow's gonna die, I suppose. Again, in character. Can I have his body?
Well, Strato is a fictional character in the D&D
Oh my
universe,
gosh.
so it's kind of depends what happens next. The best question, by the way, this is probably my favorite one that you've asked so far. But I do have a rebuttal question. Computron,
Yeah.
what has been your favorite moments of Zephyr interacting with any of the other players?
Oh, interaction with other players or just interaction in general?
Your choice.
So my favorite interaction was when I was in the vendor bot and we were on the planet with a lot of I think it was like the beast machines or the maximals.
Okay.
And I was in a vendor bot body, and I guess I just decided to stay in that way. And lo and behold, I had problems with stairs, and I fell down the stairs. And well, honestly, one of my favorite interactions is when I'm sitting there being a distraction, and I'm just waiting for the rock to roll down. And so I had to really improvise all of those songs that I was singing in the most
Great.
monotone voice ever. And I'm just sitting there
Fantastic.
twiddling my thumbs going, anytime now.
That was so
I
good.
think you need
That was a good one.
need to make a single of "I'm in Oscar Mayer Wiener Con."
Yeah, an album.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Right.
think they're coming out with an album.
Oh gosh. Sorry, did you want my most favorite or just like a handful?
If that's your most favorite, just one's fine.
Yeah, that's it. That's my most favorite.
That's perfect. Heximus, you're next.
What have we, your players, done that you have least expected out of the entire campaign?
Okay. Remember when I said we'll circle back to this lockdown?
Oh.
Later? I've been sitting on this waiting to tell you guys this for a long time, but I had to establish to make sure you guys don't run into lockdown again before I could say this. Well, because the plan was when you first ran into lockdown, and you guys are gonna either get real upset or find this hilarious, is he was never going to be an enemy. He was supposed to be a babysitter for the triplets, which was why the purple
Really?
one was not locked up. He was
Oh my
playing
God.
cards with lockdown.
Oh, come
If you
on.
don't remember.
Oh,
Dude.
no.
And Strata walks in and says, I'm gonna charge him. And I was like, scrap. And because like I had to stay true with the character, Lockdown would never be like, oh wait. No, he'd be prideful. He'd wait until he'd like knock you on your feet before telling you like, I'm not here to fight. But that's not what happened, obviously.
Oh my god!
He had my child. What do you want me to
Then we kept
do?
him prisoner for like a long time.
You did. So
Oh,
that's
Parental
probably
instincts kicked
been the
in.
most least expected thing to happen.
I feel like I'd be the only one that would have trusted Lockdown with the triplets.
Right. And essentially,
It's a mercenary.
The bounty that was on Mantix, you could have bought. Like it was I'm trying to make sure it was within the price limit.
Wait, they
But
could
you
have
didn't
what?
have to do that.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Hold on just a second. Back up there.
Because you're a bounty.
I guess that's fair. Wait, who put the bounty out?
We'll never know.
All
right, so my question to you-
Yes.
I'm changing my
In the
third
story-
question.
we could have come out there with an extra jar of the toxin.
Right. So, Hex, in this story, has there anything you would have liked to have done differently with Spitfire?
Probably
Honestly,
kick Zephyr out.
honestly, I don't think I can say in good conscience that I would change anything. I think I have enjoyed her being the way she is through and through.
Fantastic. Clickbait, would you like to ask your second question?
I would, but I would like to ask if I can ask my third question first and then finish up with my second question.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So my question, back when we were on that beast planet and we released that Titan bird, I don't remember what his name is, what would have happened if our characters would have decided to stay and fight it? Would you have let that happen? Was there a way we could have won that? Like, what could have happened there?
Yeah, I would have let that happen. You guys are almost free to do whatever. There are very few things I will give you guys a hard no. And I think that's only happened once. But we won't talk about it. But yeah, so I assumed you all would die. No, I'm just kidding. So,
Wow.
Wow.
Well, okay.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't have
Given your
fought it.
track record. Yeah, given your track record.
Well, you could have gotten a big
there
Titan body.
was at least one time where you guys had 3 rounds missing. And this is a Titan-sized bird. This is bigger than the one you fought on the Crucible Dweller ship, Terrorblade. But who knows? Maybe you could have came up with an idea, sort of like a plan, using the ships as a weapon, ramming it with the ships, or even turning the Grey Raptor into like a trap or a bomb, blowing up the Titan. So it could have gone many ways. Honestly, if you would have survived or not, I don't know. But that's not what happened.
Oof.
It's a good one. I'm going to ask you a follow-up question.
Okay.
What do you think would have happened if you guys never found Soundwave on Velocitron?
Ooh, is this like a for everyone question?
This is for you specifically.
Oh, me specifically? What would have happened if I hadn't?
Mhm.
So are you mean like if he had never reached out to me, or like if I had like he'd told me he was going to give me answers and then never did?
So in that cliffhanger episode that drove you crazy,
Oh my god, I
the
literally
one where you flew
lost
to the
so
flew
much
to the
sleep
tower,
over that stupid episode. I
you flew to
swear.
the tower, and Soundwave was like, "Welcome, Mantix. I have something for you." What if you never flew to the tower? What if you just avoided the tower entirely, and you never ran into him?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I think that he eventually would have run into Soundwave somewhere else because Mantix was definitely seeking answers, and Soundwave was one of the people that he was going to try and get it from. If he couldn't, get it from Starscream or even climb the chain of command, he was, angry and confused. And so I think he would have found it eventually, confronted Soundwave about it, but I definitely don't think that that confrontation would have gone the way the one in the tower did. And I think that, it would have, in the long run, kind of affected Mantix's character because in that interaction, at the end of it, Soundwave basically tells Mantix that it's okay that he's hanging out with an Autobot. And I kind of took that as like the opportunity for Mantix to be like, oh dang, and realize that Spitfire was like okay, because he was really harboring this animosity towards her before that. So that actually worked really well, and I think that Mantix's character probably would have continued to get more bitter if he hadn't met Soundwave and had that little confrontation and then that meeting of, hey, I need to work with these guys, like we really need to be a team and that's okay, like I don't have to be alone, I don't have to hate them.
Yeah, no, that's
And
fair.
also,
I still hate you.
I'm sorry?
Wow.
You know what, Vesper? I'm trying to be nice. Oh my god, I can't with you.
Best friends.
But yeah, no, I think it would have kind of affected. I mean, obviously, we didn't have endless time to develop character arcs, but would have been interesting for sure. I would that would have been an interesting way to see things go.
Yeah. Oh, good. Excellent.
Again,
I
super
think you're
long-winded.
right.
Sorry.
All of us. No, you're good. That's most appreciated. Kilobyte, do you mind asking your third question?
Well, my final question: what are your top 3 favorite player reactions on story events?
Easily number 1 spot is Mantix on that cliffhanger of episode 20 when he finds Soundwave in the tower. Now, for the listeners, we talked about this a little bit. The cliffhanger that drove clickbait crazy
Oh my
because
God.
we only recorded the episodes bi-weekly, so she had 2 whole weeks to find out,
Dude,
and was posting on
I
Discord
was
trying
so
to figure out
angry.
why. And it was just ongoing. It was great. That's easily number 1. Nothing else can take that spot.
hold on. I need to just jump in here really quickly. So, listeners, for any of you who don't, I know you can just listen to all the episodes now. This was literally 1.5 weeks of agony. I had no idea what was going to happen to my character. I literally lost sleep, agonizing over what was going to happen, which direction this was going to go. Like it was crazy.
It was
It's
Chef's
beautiful.
Kiss.
It was beautiful, but I hated Primus so much for it.
Yeah. Number 2 spot is, I think, Spitfire rescuing 8-Wheeler, Zephyr, and the Turbo Fox from Core when the Omega Sentinel erupted from behind her, and she was like,
We gotta get out.
Gotta go wake up.
It was good. And then the third one, lastly, probably any of the Zephyr reactions to pretty much any form of authority or vendor bot have been a pretty good highlights.
I think my favorite on that one would probably be the vendor bot in the bank.
That
Yeah,
was
it's
great.
good stuff.
I
I can't
chime
believe we got
in.
away with that.
I know, me too.
Me either.
I chimed in, and it's just okay. Hi.
Computron, you want to ask your last question?
Yeah. So obviously, for the listeners, you kind of know that Zephyr used to own his own enterprise, and kind of got kicked to the curb after getting blown up as well. My question for you is will you allow me to blow up the Enterprise headquarters in the most ironic way possible, similar to how I got blew up?
As Zephyr, you certainly can try. First, you have to survive the finale, which you were struggling in the previous episode, so we'll see.
Ooh.
There's 2 bots, dude.
And
Burn.
you know when you guys get in trouble and like you guys pick a fight and you need me to show up and like that time where you guys are rolling like really low numbers for like 3 turns in a row and then I just show up and go boop. And then all of a sudden I just get a taste of my own medicine.
It was great. It had to happen someday.
It was about time.
Hex, would you like to ask your last question?
Yes. I don't know if this is actually your first time doing a Transformer D&D DMing, but did you have fun?
I most certainly did. And to answer your first question in that question, this is actually like version 3 of the times probably more than that actually. I've been ever since like I learned about D&D. I've really loved Transformers. So like, how can I make this a homebrew thing? Now this is the first time we're recording things, and it's been a blast. It's been a lot of fun, and I've enjoyed every single second of it.
You've enjoyed our pain. That's what you've
It's been
enjoyed.
great.
Yeah, are you
It's
kidding
so
me?
good. It's so good.
Our cries
Click-
for help.
It's so good. The cliffhangers, so good.
Oh yeah, those
Oh,
were very
God,
artfully done, dude.
Clickbait. Would you like to ask your last question?
Yes, my last question. So I have grown very attached to both my character and all the other characters that we've gotten to meet and all the adventures that they've gone on. And so my final question is, will we ever get to see them again?
It's possible. It's a possibility. After episode 24 is released, we'll be taking a quick break and jumping into a brand new D&D series where Kilobyte will be becoming the new Primus, the DM, if you will. But to circle back to your real question here, let's just say I may have plans, some cliffhangers, which you may or may not know by now is my favorite way to leave an episode on
Really?
for the grand finale of Rise of the World Killers, which, if we wanted to, we can return after Kilo's campaign.
Just as long as
OMG,
you
yes.
tortured clickbait.
I'm sorry, hold on.
Cliffhanger.
Confused?
The pressure is on.
You are not getting me into a booster seat, sir.
So let me turn this question around on you. Would you like to see these characters again?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I so want to see a level
Are
20
you
Mantis.
sure we're not gonna die at the end?
This is gonna actually surprise a lot of people, but I really don't care if I see his
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
You've been
Do
hot
you
and
know
cold all
how
over your
hard-
character, dude.
I don't think. Well, I just don't know. Like a lot of you guys don't know, but like a lot of the improv I had to do with him was so mentally draining. It really was.
So, for the listeners outside of the game, when we first started this campaign, Computron told me like it's okay if we kill off his character during the campaign. And then a few weeks ago, it'll be a month to you guys to hearing this now. He did tell me like I don't want my guy to die. I want him to live. And now he's saying he doesn't care. So hot and
So
cold, man. So
confusing.
I care.
Such a Sepher
I'm hot
move,
and
you know.
Such a
cold,
Zephyr
I'm
move.
yes
And
and I'm no.
Also,
We're gonna get copyrighted.
I know, right? But I do have some quick group questions for
Oh,
the
yay.
end.
group
Which we're
questions.
transitioning to. So these couple questions here only require one word or one name responses, and all of you guys can jump in and have a debate over that answer. Whoever answers it first, really.
Yes, please.
All right. So first question: which of your party members would most likely kill you while you're recharging on your sleeping slab?
Zephyr.
Oh wow,
Sepher, that's
Yeah.
obvious.
antics.
Not a boy.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Question 2: which of your party members is the adult in most situations, and why?
Spitfire.
That's gotta be Strato.
Strat.
I was gonna say
Zephyr.
Shadow.
Zephyr.
Ooh, conflict.
I would say Spitfire. Because, I mean, like, she's the one who's a prime, after all.
Oh, just being a prime makes you a parent now?
No, I mean, technically, you
I've
can't
been
even have
taking
custody
care of 3
anymore.
little sparklings.
Although,
Definitely either Captain Hooker or definitely
Yeah,
All right, so
sure.
you're done. Question number 3: which of your party members gives the best advice?
oh,
Zephyr.
I don't know. No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I don't think anybody.
I
Yeah.
don't think we. Yeah, I don't think we're good at advice at all.
Yeah.
I
We'll
know.
take that as an answer.
I know Strato has tried,
Yeah.
but nobody listens to him.
Which of your party members is the most serious?
Mantics.
Mantix.
Yeah, Mantics.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Question number 5. If you were surrounded by enemies, who would you pick to stand by your side against them?
Ooh.
Either Strato or Spitfire, but definitely not Zephyr.
Oh my
I was
god.
gonna say the
Outstanding.
same Mantics or Spitfire, but not Zephyr.
I was gonna say I kind of want Zephyr.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Definitely Spitfire now.
Yeah, it's my man.
Question 6. If you had a stash of stolen energon and you needed help hiding it, who would you go to first and why?
Zephyr?
Zephyr for sure.
But then I would have a backup because he'd take it.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, if I go to Zephyr, he'll
Oh.
probably take it. So I think I would.
You know what?
I would just
I'm taking
go
Strato.
to Swindle.
Can I do that?
None of the
What
options.
about Swiffer?
Oh,
Swiffer.
Swiffer for sure.
But Swiffer is like Zephyr mixed with Swindle. It's even worse. It's like double the trouble.
Co-Captain Wolfer the second.
I am actually gonna have to say I really miss Swiffer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he cleans up
Question-
very good.
Number 7. If your character was dubbed worthy of the Matrix and opened it, what would their prime name be? I know Spitfire becomes Scorchfire Prime, but what would Stratostorm or Zephyr or Mantix become?
Bro, you can't just drop a bomb
Yeah,
like that on
give
us.
me the. Yeah, you can't drop
Yeah,
a bomb like
there's your
that.
bomb.
No, you gotta pick one.
Zephyrus the Benign.
Wow.
Beautiful. I'm clapping.
I don't know. I'm just gonna mix my name here, and I'm gonna call him Adamus Prime.
That's fun. I don't know. Like messing up his name would be fun, like Mantixon or something. I don't know. I can't come up with anything cool on the spot. This requires like hours of agonizing research and contemplation.
Like Hexmas is like, haha, my job here is done.
Wait,
That's
wait,
cheating. That's cheating.
Captain
My name's
Captain
Scorchfire Prime.
Captain Hooker Prime.
Yes.
All right.
There you
Question
go.
8.
Yes.
Question 8. Last of the quick fire questions here. Tell me about describe your character in one GIF, one meme, if you will, that describes your character you play in D&D.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Oh no, that's a tough one.
I need a meme that's just destroyed on the inside.
So can I ask a question to this question? Do I have to pick a GIF or can I like pick a specific character that I always looked at Zephyr as? Kind of like from a cartoon character.
If it's a GIF, sure. If it's a meme, sure.
It's gonna be for me from American Dad, you know, the alien that always changes
Oh my god.
stuff.
Roger.
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 Yeah. And so it would be like any GIF with Roger in it, really.
Oh my goodness.
I think I'm caught between two. I'm caught between
All right.
Patrick Star from SpongeBob SquarePants going fight me because I keep using it so often, or the one I just recently posted of Stephen Colbert like face palming, but there's a second pair of hands that comes up from under his desk and also face palms.
So good. And then Kilo, did you go?
No, I'm not quite sure.
It's a tough choice.
Yeah, I literally.
I would.
It really is.
I hate to compare it to this, but it's the only character that's coming to mind that's gone through hell and back and survived. It's Guts from Berserk.
I have no idea what that is.
It's an
yeah.
anime.
Oh, I'll have to watch it.
It's an anime. Yeah. It's a very sad and strong anime. So
Oh no, I cry a
Did
lot.
everyone get a chance to answer that one?
I think Mantix needs
No, I'm sticking with.
their
I
character.
think I'm
Clickbait?
sticking with emotional
Oh,
damage
clickbait. Yeah.
just because I literally
Emotional damage.
the only memes I know, and this is gonna sound so sad, pathetic, are the Velociraptor ones. Literally, that's it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Or Transformers memes. But that
Okay.
is actually, I am so sad. So I literally cannot answer anything other than what I've seen on like TikTok. I can't. I read too many books to do memes.
All right. And lastly, I have 2 final questions. Are there any other questions or comments or thoughts you would like the listeners to know or anything we have not covered? This is your chance to get in an additional question you either thought of recently or maybe a question I asked someone else, but you would like to answer that question as well.
I want to know a follow up least expected encounter.
Okay. We'll have you go first then, Clickbait. Least expected encounter is what you're asking.
Yeah, so you said the lockdown one was the first was the
Yeah.
answer to that. So what comes after that? One other one of your
What
least expected
comes after
events,
that?
yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh boy.
Probably
yeah.
the scavenger that was like big, spot on. Like that is a
Please.
transformer, and Mantic
You
still
know
got in there.
what?
That was funny. That was funny. That wasn't least
Funny.
expected because I
I
made
still
sure
can't
that
believe I
happened.
did
As
that.
Tyson has keys in the window. I mean, why is there an
Like,
earth
why-
excavator in space?
You know what,
Yeah,
guys?
why does it have keys?
I was tired.
Why is it the only thing in
Please.
the cargo bay?
Yeah,
Please leave
right.
the turbo
So
fox out of
that's
this.
not really least expected. That's like most funny and most like payoff. Least expected would be like I think Zephyr. When I tried to make it really difficult, he talked to me. He's like, "I want my character to have a new leaf," and so we had a one-on-one episode, and it was like very heartwarming. Sounded like he was making a turn of events because he pet the Turbo Fox. He was really becoming a good character. Nothing. Flip to the next episode, kills the first innocent bot.
Yep.
It's like, all right, backpedal. Here we go. All right, who's got another question?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, because obviously it was kind of fun throwing Zephyr in kind of a lot of weird, funny, awkward situations. Which of the situations were your favorite?
Wow.
Why are you doing this to me, bud?
Does
Which
the
are my
booster
favorites?
seat count?
The booster seat interaction was pretty funny.
It was great.
I like that you took over the vendor bot's body and then pretended to be that vendor bot and proceeded to try to sell goods to the authorities.
That was
That
such a
was
good moment.
hilarious. And then I think that's what started the trend of you always seeking out a vendor bot body.
Was that,
Oh
was that
god,
the day that
that's
I had to
exactly
commit
why
murder?
I kept seeking out a vendor bot body.
I think that might have been the day.
When he got captured and I had to I just shocking hands the ever crap out of that vendor bot.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. I was laughing so hard that day.
That was a good one. All right, anyone else?
I have one. Who is
Okay.
Stratustorm?
Who is Stratos? He's Eight-Wheeler. He's Eight-Wheeler. And as you know by now, he's been shadow played 13 times. And one of them, in every instance, I will tell you, he's always had a friend who is smaller than him. You have Axis, you have Zephyr now, you had Augur. You may have had more, but that's the theme I was going for with Eight-Wheeler. Who is Eight-Wheeler? Essentially, the first Eight-Wheeler I wanted it to happen is the one that's from the mines with Augur.
Ooh, okay, interesting.
I have one. So what is one thing that you your favorite thing that you have led each character to do?
Led each character to do. Can you be a little bit more specific?
what event are you oh gosh, now I have to because it made sense in my head and now that I'm asking it. So like
Okay, I think I follow.
yeah,
follow.
just
So my favorite thing, I'll start with Bitfire because that's one that I had to do some thinking because they were the first new character introduced, and I was like, okay, because I want to pay attention to every character equally, and I think I really enjoyed is I was doing subtle hints here and there that maybe they were from somewhere else. They weren't from Cybertron. They were from Velocitron. And through the story, we get subtle hints of who or where they're from. And it turns out it's Velocitron. And it also turns out it may have been a sparkling that was under the care of Elita 1. And that's probably one of my favorites for Spitfire. And then I'll go to with Mantix. Mantix is a complex character, and as we already know and talked about, is the internal conflict. And that's something I was really banking hard because your character reacts really well with that. Zephyr, however, not so well. So I had to bank more
Yeah.
towards in your directions with that. And I was like, okay, they know that they were raised to hate Autobots. But this, knowing the way Hexmas plays Spitfire, I knew it was going to be just good quality content there. And the conclusion to your story has yet to be revealed until the finale. okay, so maybe I shouldn't say conclusion. The ending of the arc, this full circle. Because what I like to do in a lot of my storytellings is bring things full circle, almost like a poem, I guess. And you'll see that in episode 24. For Eight Wheeler slash Strato, his is the Shadow Play arc. His is ending up in the very same spot he started everything, where all of his tragic events have kind of led him there. So, in his flashbacks in the first half of the series, we see him in his warehouse where he loses his team. And if you tune into episode 22, that's where he is now, trapped with Shockwave, where we find out that is one of Shockwave's backup labs. And that's where he's been shadow played. With Zephyr, it's always been tough with Zephyr, to be honest. Because it's a lot of back and forthing. But essentially, what I was trying to do with him is because everyone's supposed to have like a different background, and his like he came from a life of luxury, and now he's not. Like he's completely been put down a peg, and he's trying to get that back. He's been trying so very hard to get back what he wanted, and through that, he was like, okay. The one way he tried to do this wasn't working, so he joined the Decepticons. And through the experience of being with Spitfire, Strato, and Mantix, we see this change of spark, well, a little bit, that he doesn't want that life back anymore. And he actually wants to destroy his industry now, if that makes sense. So he's like kind of like the Tony Stark in a way, but without the super suit, I guess. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was going for. Kind of your favorite thing with each character. Yeah, the favorite thing you've done.
Very long answer.
It was great,
but I
and
hope
honestly,
that
the
answers
shadow
that.
play I think is so cool. That's literally one of my favorite things is how you brought the shadow play into it. And now you drop me with the bomb that everyone's been shadow played, except my character.
Well, has everyone been shadow played?
I mean,
Well, everybody else.
yeah, everybody else, everyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know. Yeah,
It's interesting. It might come up in the finale. You may need to
Oh,
hold on to that.
we're all nobodies.
Just a crying.
now I'm gonna have to
All
read
right.
up on shadow play.
Anyone's got a last question?
Me.
Yes, go.
Based on how well you know our little squad, our party, how quick do you think it would take for us to get into some sort of bar fight if we just went in and sat down and had a drink?
Your characters in a bar fight? Well, you're asking about each character or as a whole?
Like
As
four
a
characters
whole.
walk into a bar. What
Okay.
happens?
As a collective.
And so
Yeah.
this is what would happen. And I can see this probably from a mile away.
Nice.
All four of your characters walks into the bar. You sit down. Spitfire's actually there for a drink. Strato's there trying to relax because it's been kind of stressful. Mantix sussing the place out. Still a little stressed. Now here's the problem child, Zephyr. Before anyone even gets their drink, either kills the vendor bot, finds the biggest bot there, and kills them, and that's when the bar fight will start. Because as soon as he kills someone, everyone's just gonna be like, oh, here we go again. And then you guys will have to go and save him. And that's when the bar fight will occur. So, however long it takes before you order a drink.
I mean, to be fair,
Less than a
kind
minute.
of, if I was in a bar and this is like my immediate reaction, was to kill the vendor bot and then just start making money pouring drinks.
See, there you go. That was my first
And,
guess.
and if anybody orders something complicated, I just kill them.
Checks out.
Aw.
No complicated energon. You get just straight
Yeah,
energon.
All right, I have one last question for all of you. Did you guys have
Oh
fun?
my gosh, yes.
Yes.
It
Yes.
was nerve-wracking and agonizing
Yeah.
and terrifying, but yes, oh my gosh, so much fun.
Been a blast.
Would not trade all the stress and worry I felt in this campaign for
Oh
anything.
yeah, no.
I had a lot of fun on the improv stuff. I really did.
And also like getting to know you guys too.
And I lied.
What?
I lied. I have one more
Oh.
question for you.
Oh.
I
Oh god, I got
say-
scared.
I was gonna say one thing. I had fun
Oh,
and all the
sorry.
sad scenes were stupid Strato.
Yes.
I know it doesn't
Yes.
make sense, but I think it's like perfect.
Yeah, you got like the short stick. You get the sad character.
And I'm all for it.
So the reason why I lied, I got one more question for you. by the time this Q&A comes out, we would have already recorded episode 24, but we haven't yet. Are you ready for the finale?
No, absolutely not.
I am ready. I'm 100% ready. I will take down Shockwave and Crossboom, even if it takes my life.
I will help you also, because Shockwave needs to eat some shit for what
And
he's
you
done.
have my hammer.
And my sword.
I wanted to ask like earlier, is there any possible way that with the money that I have on Zephyr to just buy out Shockwave?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's
That though, right?
money is illogical for Shockwave. It's a concept. He understands it's just like a make-believe concept that's just an exchange of good and services. Like, it's not a concrete thing, if that makes sense.
Okay. Do I get to keep my money, and then I'll tell you yes or no to your question?
All right, we're gonna end the Q&A here. So if you have stuck around with us, thank you so much, and thank you so much for listening. Thank you all for joining us in this D&E adventure, and thank you, Clickbait, Hexamus, Kilobyte, and Computron for being my victims. I mean, my players for
Hey,
this
now.
adventure we've all had together. And we're going to leave you guys with the trailer for episode 24, the epic conclusion that is Transform and roll out Rise of the World Killers. Take care.
Bye. I approve.
Outstanding. Oh, how I wish I was an Oscar Mayer WienerCon.
Well, she's dead now.
Try to shoot him with the pistols and try to get his attention again. I don't know if that's how this works, but we're gonna try it.
Roll the hit.
There's a 12 hit.
You fire off, but the pressure to maintain the distraction is a bit too much, and you end up missing.
Oh boy.
And I would like to power links with Bug Shield.
You power links, and you do the cool trick shot animation from the Armada series where you both shoot up and twirl. Oh wait, this sounds like Sailor Moon still.
He is the one named Stratostorm.
Everyone except for Mantix, roll me a Constitution with disadvantage.
No.
Oh
Oh no.
boy.
Oh
Oh.
Oh
no.
my god, hold strong!
This is gonna turn so fast.
Did we ever fully heal before we came over?
Did you? I didn't hear anything.
Nope, we're not healed.
So no.
I guess I gotta start rolling my Constitution savings.
No, already?
Oh no.
Go ahead and roll that first one.
Oh no.
Shockwave turns to you, Strato, and takes a blast. Let's see if it hits. There's a 24 or a 27. I'm assuming that hits, sir. And this is with his larger cannon on his main arm, dealing a total of 32 points of damage.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay, I'm down to 0.
Oh,
What am I gonna do if you all die?
cry.
I'm getting the vibe that Primus really doesn't plan on any of us surviving. There's going to be a Hail Mary moment somewhere along the lines.
It is now Strato's turn, Storm's turn. You may roll a save, and let's see what happens.
The panic. What?
I've never killed a player before.
I'm gonna cry.
Outstanding.
Oh my god. I'm not okay.
I didn't think this was gonna happen.
I'm an awful prime.
Yeah, you are.
That's quite a development. Lord Megatron will be pleased when I inform him.
So about that ending.
So yeah. Oh no. Saddest oh no.